Here's a GIF of the thing we're going to make, and we've made the cams now, and we need to make the box next. So this will be the structure that houses the whole cam and follower system. So if you go to the assignment, it tells you a number of things about what to call the document and the parts. I'll let you refer to those, and I'm just going to make the parts rather quickly here in case you had trouble in class. So we're going to make a sketch first on the top plane. Press N to get the sketch plane normal to you, and then let's put a center point rectangle here, and it's going to be 6.5 by 4 inches. Okay, and we can extrude that a distance of 0.25. There we go. So Shift 7 to make it isometric. Press P to get rid of those planes we don't need anymore. Press F to bring it up. And there's our bottom. So let's go ahead and immediately rename it so we don't lose track of what we have here, because we're going to have multiple parts in this part studio. So we've got the bottom here, and I'm going to assign it the material of medium density fiber board, MDF. There we go. And therefore I'm going to change its appearance to be sort of brownish, which is what MDF looks like. So there we go. And I have been kind of fastidiously renaming all these sketches and extrusions just so that I can potentially quickly identify any problems, troubleshooting. This is a pretty simple thing we're doing today, so this is probably not needed, but I'm going to do it just to illustrate doing it. Okay, now we're going to use the geometry of the existing part, the bottom, to help us make the subsequent parts. So we're going to put a sketch on the front plane. Press N to make it normal to you on the screen. And then we're going to go and take a corner rectangle, and we're going to use the geometry here. We'll make a coincident constraint here, pull out, make another coincident constraint there, and then for the thickness, that's always 0.25 inches. And I have one too many decimal points. There we go. So again, we've used the geometry that existed in order to help us make subsequent parts. So I'll do the same over here. Again, these are the sides, 0.25. And Shift 7 will make it isometric. While I could make the back in this sketch as well, I'm going to separate it out into a different sketch. So I'm going to accept that, and then I'm going to rename my sketch here, sides, and then extrude here and here. And I'm going to make sure I select new in the extrude window, and I'm going to go up 4 inches as per the dimension drawings down here for the sides, which are right here. So they're 4 inches high, are tall, and we've got it. And it made 2 new parts. So it made the left one first, and even though these are going to be identical, let's go ahead and name these or make them as separate parts. So side right, and we'll hold off on assigning a material to them or changing their color. Okay, now we need to make the back, and again the existing geometry will help us to do that. So I'm going to take a rectangle, coincident there, and then over here. And right now it prompts me for that 6, and if I hit enter right here to accept that 6, it will throw an error. I don't know why it does that in Onshape, but I'm going to hit escape. That'll allow me to then go in with the dimension tool and dimension this part here as 0.25, and now it's fully constrained. It's you know, it's all black. So I'll accept that, and I forgot to rename some of these sides. So the sketch I just made is for the back. All right, now let's extrude that. Let's see, wow, yeah. So I can pull that up, but I'm going to make it 4 as per the dimension drawings. and it is a new part. Okay, so I've got my back. I'll rename the back, B-A-C-K. Now I'm going to grab all four of these. These are the, let's see, so if I click on bottom, shift, back, it'll take them all. I'm going to assign a material, and it'll take that material MDF of the first one I defined, and then I'm going to right click, edit the appearance, and I'm going to make it this brown, and all of them are now MDF brown. Alright, if we go back to the assignment document, what you're going to see is that the top is clear acrylic and it's got holes in it, so we need to make that now. So to do that, I'm going to, let me make sure I rename my extrude here. I'm going to put a sketch right on top of one of the sides, press N, and then I just going to make a rectangle that's defined by the corners of the top. There we go. I'll accept that sketch, and let's see, I'm going to extrude up. Whoops. I'm going to extrude up by a 1/4 inch, and for some reason it doesn't pick this one up, and that's going to be a 1/4 inch, 0.25, and we'll accept that. Okay, so now we just need to rename that as the top. And now we could put the holes in the sketch here. I got the sketch for the top there, but I'm going to break it out a little bit. Let me just finish my fastidious naming. Okay, let's put a sketch. We'll change the material in a minute. Let's put a sketch here. We'll press N. And you'll notice if you go back to the dimension drawing for the top that we have these 5 holes, and they're 2 inches from the front, so they're in the center, and they're collinear, and they're separated by 1 inch from each other and from the left edge by 1.25. Okay, so let's come here, and I'm going to use a construction line here. Let's make that a construction line, and then I'm going to put a point here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Accept that sketch, and I'm going to put holes there, 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 and there. And I don't want it to go all the way through to the bottom, so the merge scope, I'm going to get rid of the top, bottom, and it should take care of it there. And it's a simple hole, it's a through hole, and it's 0.25 in diameter. So I think I got it made there, but I forgot to do something, didn't I? Something that's very basic and fundamental. I was too excited about making those holes. I got to dimension them, or locate them I should say. So they are 1.25 from the left edge, and then all these are separated by 1. So we can just sequentially go in here and separate them by 1. And I want to make sure I'm doing things right, so I'm going to try to dimension there, but it's already fully constrained, the sketch is, so this is going to be a driven dimension. So it'll be in gray, and it's saying, hey, you know, I didn't change anything, I'm just documenting what's there. So I think this is okay. This is what we want. So I'll accept that, and there they are. Now let's go back to the top and assign a material. That'll be acrylic. And let's edit its appearance to look like acrylic, so it's going to be a little bit transparent, maybe that color. And so there we have our box. But you'll notice I did forget something. Very forgetful today. That's useful that I'm naming everything. So this sketch is for the holes. How about top holes? And this is for the top. And I forgot to make holes in the sides. So I can look back at my feature list and I can immediately find out what I want. I want this guy right here. But I think I'm going to add another sketch. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm just going to add another sketch on the left side here. Press N. And then I want to find the center. If we go back to the dimension drawing, you can see that the holes in the side are right in the middle. So they're 2 inches from each corner and they have a diameter of 0.25. And so let's go back there and I'm going to use the old trick. There may be an easier way to find the center of this thing, but I'm going to use this technique of putting crisscross construction lines here and then putting let's extrude. So that's okay. That little symbol right there means I'm right on the line, so I'll come out here 0.25 and yeah, I'll accept that. Let's extrude away that hole. There we go. I'm going to remove and merge with all. Let's see, I always get this wrong here. So how about through all, merge with all, and that'll make the hole there on the other side. So it'll take it all the way through. And I can shift 7 and I've got a sketch here. I know I probably didn't need to make a separate sketch for this, but I did. Side holes, and this is the same extrusion for side holes. I think we're done now. What I want to do next though, before I stop, because I'm going to add more things to this. Obviously if you go back to here, there's a lot more going on. So I'm going to grab everything associated with the box. So there, shift there, click this folder, and I'm going to name it box. So everything associated with the creation of the box is going to be in that folder, and I can manage that very well.